Man, I ain't getting shit here. What's up with that?
Hey, what's up, guys? You're kicking it with Rob and Tara, and
Hey,
Angry Quad,
hey,
and Cordy Transforms. I'm a C5,
hey,
C6,
hey, hey.
C10 quadriplegic.
Wait a minute. One sec. You're gonna lose me for a sec.
Oh no.
Uh,
I'm Cordy Transforms. I'm a T9 complete paraplegic. Welcome to the show.
And today we're talking about
I'll be along in a minute.
adaptation. Angry Quad must be having some issues. But
Dealing with some technical stuff.
I'll start with my number one adaptation thing is to keep cool in the summertime. Gotta have it. Hey, Nicole, what's one thing that, what is he doing?
He's partying. Before we get too far into it, let's define adaptation, because I wasn't really sure on our last live stream when Angry Quad brought it up. So, can I define it real quick and see what we think?
Yeah, I would love that.
All right, adaptation per our Google overlords. The act of modifying something or changing your own behavior to make it suitable for a new environment, situation, or purpose. So you're adapting.
Yeah, and it's weird. When I woke up today, I was like, I gotta find some things that I adapted to. And there is just like things everywhere. And when you think about it, like when you had brought it up the other day, I was like, I really don't have very many things that is adaptable.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
I have no mic.
We can hear you.
I can hear you great.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound great, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing any on the output volume. I'm not seeing shite.
Yeah, you're great,
'Cause
brother.
last time I heard, Courtney. You get that shit a lot. People fucking with you.
All the time.
Although I know a couple guys, Courtney's, but fuck me. Sorry, boys. Continue. I'll be along in a sec.
So he was defining what adaptation is.
What's adaptation to you there, Angry Quad?
Well, first thing, human beings just in and of themselves, just by sheer characteristics, we adapt and we conform to many different things. And, that's one of the things is about being human is that, think about it. With the exception of the North and South Pole, what other places on the planet do human beings not live? You know what I mean? We adapt. Too cold, no problem. Too high, oh, really? There's people living in the mountains in the Andes. You go down to Nepal, all the Sherpas, those little fuckers are all over the place down there. There's a reason that, I got a light, but it sort of sucks, but it'll work for now. But these little fuckers are living up, 10,000 feet above sea level. That's 2 miles. I swear, if humans could grow like gills, they would live in the ocean. Absolutely, positively. But regardless, adaptation is figure out where you are and what you got to. This light is really freaky, dude. I don't know if I like it too much. But where you are and what you need to do in order to survive in whatever, wherever climate, whatever predicament that you've found yourself in. And I find that quadriplegics are rather adept, especially those that really don't like where they're at and, are guilty. But as far as, adapting to things like quadriplegic, you have an option. Let's see a show of hands. Who wants to answer? What's your option? What can you do?
Wow.
What else can you do other than to adapt? Please, anybody, either of you guys.
I mean,
Anybody else?
I have to adapt. I mean,
Why?
I could sit there and try and try and try.
What's
And
the alternative?
getting it done, man. Keep trying until you do it.
Oh,
We're
you're
trying to
adapting
find a
get it done.
way to do it in our own way.
Yeah, but why are you adapting? What's the
Like,
downside? What's the downside? You're missing my point, Rob. Death. Death is a downside. You
Yeah.
die. You either adapt or die. That's why we have the whole evolutionary chart, where we were born little, that thing from South Park when Mr. Harrison or whatever it was, he went through
right.
the evolution thing, a frog fish thing that in turn, you either live or die, man. And if you're under the impression that simply breathing means you're alive, you are seriously mistaken, my man. Anybody, I say to you right now, challenge me. Just because you're breathing does not mean you're alive. They can keep freaking rutabagas alive for 1,000 years on a machine. I ain't being one of those guys. Sorry, started off in a rant. Nicole, welcome to the party, kid.
What's like one of the first things you adapted to
Was that for me or you?
for you?
Just being quadriplegic in and of itself. And I'm
Wow.
still having a problem with it.
I know that Cordy's not a quad, but I'm sure that there's lots of things that you have adapted to.
Oh yeah, I agree with Angry Quad. Just living is a form of adaptation. It's a constant thing. Like the way I see it is, I had to adapt multiple ways, and I do them constantly, and that's physically, mentally, and spiritually. I've got to adapt in different ways. Physically speaking, like I mentioned in the last show, my favorite thing I've adapted to my life is hopefully this will come through. This is a bottle holder you put on a bike. Just goes right on the tubing, and that'll go right on your chair, right? Everybody's got one of those. Well, the trick is you get online and you find one of these backs, and then you take that and you put it on a little bag. I got this little guy here, and let me tell you, you can accessorize your. I got a manual chair. I bet you guys got tubing on yours. You could do something similar, but just having extra places to put stuff. I mean, we don't have pockets pretty much. We don't use our pockets like we used to, so that gives us something to hold stuff. I also have a little bag underneath my wheelchair that, I mean, that's helped me probably more than anything as far as physical adaptation. Another big one for me that I would consider a physical adaptation is learning technology. Like I wasn't a smartphone guy or email guy or computer guy or anything. And you got to learn to live with technology, because for a lot of us, we can't get out and go sign documents or whatever. So you got to, even just something as simple as that, learn how to do that online is huge, and that's a gigantic adaptation for somebody like me. I'm maybe the older folks. I'm 40-ish almost.
I mean, I do use a manual chair, and I do have a bottle holder on my chair, but I have it's a special cup that has a straw that goes all the way around to your face. I mean, love that thing.
That's insane. I remember when you started that, dude. You couldn't even drink anything for 1,000 years.
I know it's been really strange. My eating habits. It's here or there. But I did want to show one of my favorite things.
Sorry, boys, I'm just getting settled. They just
Is
finished
right there,
having
buddy.
a protein bar. Dude, those things kick ass. I like the
These are
video
cool.
you did with those. where you actually made it a science. I just sort of used Gorilla Tape and just made it work. You actually started measuring it, made it much more of a science. I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go, man.
Yeah, I do need to put a couple pieces of tape on it. It's stretched out a little bit.
It's always gonna be a work in progress. Always gonna be a work in progress.
And I have the 8-pound weights that look exactly like it.
Hate to get that bad. I have 10s, but the 10s I use when I'm on the floor, and I don't want to put tape on those because if I'm doing something above my head, I have to be more conscious of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So it forces me to make it so I can grasp a little bit better. Whether I can or not, that's not important. But also balancing them over my head, because if I drop them, I'm play the game, the old skull crusher. So I'm looking to avoid that.
I have
So many things, dude.
I have done that. Hit myself in the head a few times.
Dude, I moshed my nose years ago. I was convinced it was broken. Convinced. That thing bled like a freaking hose, man. I was like, fuck. Because I broke my nose about 12 times. And, I figured I'd eventually learn my lesson, but, who knows.
The one thing that you have made is the fingernail clipper thing. And when I come up there on the 4th, I gotta make one of them. This thing right here is pretty cool. What's up, Quadfather?
Ba-boom. I have a typical nail clipper. The big problem that you have with it is with quad hands, trying to hold on to this thing is a bitch. All I did was I outfitted a base. This, I actually 3D printed this my own when I still had a 3D printer, but I'm not buying a new one, dude. The other one I had just Woody Booty turned to shit. But you sit it on a table, and then in turn, instead of having to hold it, you can put it down. You put your hand up into this little, you'll notice that the way it's beveled, it'll actually, your fingers slide up. And it took me a little while to figure out exactly where to put the clipper itself, but it goes right into the little jaws, and then you go, motherfucking judo, chop, chop, chop. Works for me. Worked for me.
That's a good one.
Let's see what else I have.
We got them all day there, Cordy.
What else?
Not even my favorite one. I would have to say that my crowning jewel is Rob. I gifted him a bike the last time he was here. I had a stim bike. I hadn't used for like 2 years. I was crushing it for like 5 or 6 years. But it would take me like 45 minutes to get my shit together. By the time I was able to put the pads on and everything. But one of the things I did is because, once again, the hands, putting the little electrodes together were a bitch. So what I did was I fashioned some, what do you want to call them? Magnetic electrical connectors. And I put, studs into the one connection coming off the stim packs. And I was able to fashion these little, Rob, you still got them, don't you?
Yeah.
And instead of having to plug and unplug everything every time, because it's a little bit difficult for someone in our situation, I made a little port for these things to hang out with. I fashioned it so that the electrical connectors coming off the stim box would sit in the little port, and then I was able to incorporate the electrodes coming off of the what do you want to call it? The stem pads that actually adhere to the body, and then in order to put them on, all you would do is you drop them into the port. They made a connection. You're ready to go, man. $1 million idea. Take care of business, boys.
Yeah, Tara came up with this one. It's how I get into a mouthwash in the morning because I cannot open these things. Some kind of
So what?
silicone.
So you got a little squeeze top on it?
Yeah. Works really well.
Think about it. I don't know who said what or whatever it might be, but necessity is the mother of invention. If you don't need it, you're not going to concern yourself with it. If you need it, and if you need it bad enough, you'll figure something out. I have a bunch of those stuff on some of the like dish soap. I stole little pump tops off of stuff, and I fashioned it to like not dish soap, but like shampoo. I like using Dr. Bonner's because it removes the top surface of your skin, and you really feel clean. And instead of having a fight with this, grabbing a bar of soap, fuck all that. That shit done. I can reach over, hook a bottle on my super gimp thumb, grab one of those scrunchy things, and squish it out over there, and put it back, and lather up, and go to town.
I have
it's so much better, dude.
A scrunchie too that I use to do all my stuff, and it has like a little band like this on it, and it works, man, rather well.
Yeah, I put that around my hand, so it's because once again, quadriplegic, I drop everything. You know what I mean? Everything. So instead of trying to be in a shower chair, which my shower chair doesn't have a seatbelt on it, I drop it. I know for a fact. Just so you know, if you're curious, who's the dumbest fuck that ever lived? Right here, dude. I will try to pick it up off the floor, and I have tried to pick it up off the floor. Would anybody like to ask or figure out what these the repercussions of that act were?
Then I had to pick you up off the floor.
No.
Right.
Well, no, dude. I ended up hosing myself off, grabbed a towel, and I crawled my ass all the way to the living room because I was alone. Don't tell Mary that, she'll kill me. Dragged my ass all the way to the living room, actually into the bedroom, got changed on the floor, dragged my ass back to the living room, moved the bench over, moved the chair over, did the transfer back into the other chair. Oh, it was a party, bro. But it's why we train, dude. It's why we train.
Duct tape's like one of the most used things for projects I got here.
Absolutely. There's a couple things.
What else can I share? I have my adapted
This
knife.
is, you know what this is?
Zip tie?
Zip tie, baby. These things are next to God right here. Zip ties, again, another thing that is just one of the greatest freaking inventions on the planet.
This
You know
is
what this
like,
thing is? You know what this thing is?
Yeah, carabiners. I use them.
Carabiner, dude. This is the shit. See the strap right here? This is one of my first prototypes that I did to attach my shower chair to my bed when I transfer. This is all I do is adapt. This is it. I had a problem with brakes that were on my shower chair that kept going out. So I made this thing, which actually I measured it so it fit right on the wheel and everything. And this stops the shit out of my chair. Listen, that's all the adaptations I got. I'm sorry, I'm hogging up everything. You guys, take it away.
You're doing great, man. You guys sound like you have to adapt everything. It's definitely much more difficult for a quad, I think.
Yeah, I'll show you a couple pictures of some stuff. This is my gaming setup for my desk. And then that's my whole area. That's where I do all my work.
Nice.
What's in the drawers?
Oh yeah, the drawers. They have different things in them, like audio equipment, gaming equipment, wires. I have everything marked so I know exactly where it's at.
Okay.
And then I got my trapeze bar, which I use the hell out of.
What are you doing with that?
Do pull-ups, get myself up in bed, stuff like that. And this is my lift. Now, I only transfer out of bed is where I have an issue. And this is my desk. When I go to sleep at night, that's my desk setup.
Oh, it's one of those little hospital tables with the wheels and shit on?
Yeah. And then I got, of course, my quad stick. How I can also game and stuff like that.
But what do you do with that? What is that?
It's actually for your mouth. It helps you control certain aspects of the game that we can't actually use our hands for anymore.
Dude, whatever you got to do, man, by hook or by crook. Hey, Cord, I do notice, watching a lot of your videos, I like the one routine that you have with the resistance bands. When you sort of wrap it around you and you're doing tricep extensions.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. Did you see that, or did you just pull that out of your ass?
No, that oddly enough, it's funny you brought it up. That's an adaptation of an exercise that was a different exercise. The exercise it came from was you hold the resistance band on your shoulder and then pull straight down.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to do both arms, and I wanted it to take less time, so I just wrapped it around my head and pulled straight down. And it did the same thing, if not better, and I think it's also strengthening my neck and stuff a little bit.
Good. When you're ready, I'll make you something for your neck. You'll cry. It will absolutely kick your ass.
Well, after you mentioned the Tower of Power, wherever, I don't know if it was last week or whatever, I went through your guys' old videos and checked out a bunch of stuff, and yeah, I definitely I want some of that action for sure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is I think I
have
have
the
the
material in my garage. I'll have it done by this weekend.
Thank you.
Are you sure?
I made like 20 of them, dude. Of course I'm sure.
Oh, man.
You got one of my I don't even, dude, honestly, I don't even remember where these things all went. I didn't keep track of any of them.
And then you
What do
got
you do?
Sorry, Cordy.
What do you do? Just screw it into the wall or what? I
Trust me, it'll be stupid proof when I send it to you.
like stupid proof.
Just so you know, Rob and Tara were able to put it on their wall. Do I need to continue? Seriously? Oh, what is that? A shot? Bring it on, baby.
Oh.
Just
So-
really sucks that you had to send 2 of them. Someone else has ones around here somewhere.
The second one was good, but the first one, and it's funny because my boys sent me a chunk of mahogany again. The first one was mahogany, and don't get me wrong, the second one was white oak or white or red, I don't remember. But it was a decent piece of equipment. but I actually took a minute to do the first one. I sanded a little bit more, and it's not like you're really gonna make it much better, but still not quite as good as the armrest. But we'll have to deal with that again.
And then you got the neck, the thing you put on your head to do neck exercises. That thing's a killer.
Yeah, the power hat, dude.
That's what I'm excited for. Is that?
Think about your headband that you got right there. All you have is something starts in the back, just goes here, comes straight out, and it's made out of Gorilla Tape, dude. Comes straight out. I put a grommet on either side. I go one across the top of the head, and then I come back over this way so it doesn't fall off. All I gotta say, do you have? Oh, you do have resistance bands. You have resistance bands that you can actually put a carabiner on.
Yeah.
Okay, get a couple carabiners. I'll start working on that this weekend too. Okay, you need furniture? I'll start getting on that shit too, man. You let me know.
Yeah, no rush. I appreciate it. That's awesome. So I'm going to segue here. I asked in the chat if anybody had any adaptations, and Tara had a great one. She said Superman willpower. And that leads, that's a good segue in the second kind of type of adaptation I want to talk about, which is a mental adaptation.
Woo!
And for me, that's one of the biggest ways I had to adapt is went from being like an absolute hedonist, not caring about pretty much anything, to not having anything to do, sitting at your house all the time and having to create, positivity or create a reason to live, going back to your original definition of adaptation. So can you guys speak to any kind of mental adaptations that you've used?
I was lost mentally. If it wasn't for Tara, I probably would have never found my way back. I mean, she is, I hate to say it, but she is a really important tool. I don't want to say tool as in tool, but what's the word?
Really important part of your existence. One of the reasons that you're still alive, and she was such an essential, irreplaceable thing that you decided not to no longer want to fucking die.
Exactly.
Did that about cover it?
Pretty much.
Support structures, dude. Support structures are monstrous, and that's why this channel and the Live to Roll boys and all the rest of that tough guy shit that all we fucking do and build community is so incredibly important. I'll stop speaking now.
Preach, church.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, if there was a different one of these shows every night, I probably would go to it and watch it. I mean, you learn so much from others. It's insane.
You're talking to others that are in the same boat as you. Think about it. If you're a fisherman and you're hanging out with other fishermen and you want to figure out how to catch fish, what do you guys talk about? Fish catching shit. If you're a carpenter, you want to learn about carpenter shit, and you're hanging out with carpenter fucks, and you want to learn how to build houses, what do you talk about? House building shit. That's what it is, man. That's why it's so important. Sorry, a little passion tonight.
You're right, Nicole. She is. I mean, to have an advocate is so important, especially when you don't know everything that's going on with your own self. I mean, I have so many problems that it's hard to keep up with sometimes.
Well, one of the reasons we got to find Mr. Ross over here, some little Betty that just wants to hang out and talk to him for more than 3 minutes. Right. Hey, Cordy. How often do you get out of the house? What do you do during? I mean, you know what I mean? Are you just stay secluded, or are you jet out from time to time?
I mean, even when I'm out, I'm still secluded. So, I don't
Oh,
know.
dude.
What,
No, I agree. One of the problems that I have with spinal cord injury, even if you're in the middle of a crowd, you're still alone, and that's the bit of a bitch. But my point being with the entire thing is, if you're looking to find somebody, you either got online or there's not really a lot of perspectives in your house. So get out, fuck around, do whatever you got to do, man.
that's that's deep and true. Yeah, I totally feel you. I
I,
just don't always know what to do.
I
And if you don't
mean,
have money, it's
money's
all up
not
to you.
the world, man. Money does not make. Yeah, I guess it does make the world go
What do I
round.
It certainly does iron
I
out a
go
few
to
wrinkles.
church and
Right.
different things, but if you don't have money, what are you gonna do? Just go hang out at a park and hope a chick comes up? You're gonna, I mean,
I mean, I hate to say this. I was so deep in a hole when I met Tara. She actually met me in bed because I couldn't get up. I mean, it's insane to go meet someone that is a quadriplegic, and I don't think she knew what she was getting into. I'm a, I'm a, I make a lot of work.
Well, maybe we should go back to what Cordy was talking about, the mental aspect of, adapting to your new surrounding, your new body, and your new way of life. I don't think that there's a single person. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I'm just finishing up third meal here. I like to try to wolf down a protein bar at the end of everything. And this shit is made with actual like beef, so it's just like it's rough. However, I like that better. Fuck that light. I'm willing to bet a testicle that there's not a single quadriplegic after they've been injured in the first year that has not contemplated suicide. No way, no how, not a chance. It's a horrible, terrible way to be, and you're just like, especially the first year, because that first year, man, the learning curve is like the steepest hill you're ever going to see in your life. And I'm sorry, you wake up from a coma, you wake up wherever, and you're like, who the, what the, where the last time I remember I was over there, and then what the, what,
The hardest time was like my first day home. Navigating things, trying not to pass out because your blood pressure is so low.
oh yeah.
Mentally, it is. Like you said, it's legit the hardest thing that you can ever
Yeah.
deal with.
No, dude, I remember the first time they tried to stand me up. I got to about 60 degrees. I was there for like 25 seconds, and I was like,
Right.
well. Next thing you know, it's sort of funny because when you're just about to pass out, first off, your hearing sort of sounds like a fan. And all of a sudden, you almost get like a tunnel vision where, as you see, it gets fuzzy around the edges and it just starts to go. And once again, you know how I do that? That's all, folks. That's at the end of the Warner Brothers cartoons. And that's what it does. It goes, and it snaps together. I came close. They don't let me pass out, which I think is bullshit because I wanted to check it out. But, it's another experience that I guess I hear it probably gives you minor brain damage. But, you know what? I'm going to trust you. Tell me I'm going to trust you on this one, man.
Yeah, I passed out a
Radiant
lot.
damage, I'm good.
Standing up, man, for like the first couple of months was really hard mentally. But I'm there, man. I'm standing. I like it. Oh,
Well, you had
speaking
big
of
problems
the
with what?
speaking of the floor, I was army crawling on the floor the other day, trying to see
Okay.
how far I could get and how far I could get myself back.
Okay.
So I like it, man.
Dude, wherever you are, try to get to a door. The first thing I did, I got on the floor. The only thing I really wanted to get on the floor is in case there was a problem and I got stuck on the floor, I wanted to be able to get to the front door. It took me 40 minutes from, remember where I was in the floor when you got here?
All right.
I got, well, at that time, because I was a little more afraid at that point in time. I decided not to get myself out of my chair, which is not a good idea. Only because it's not the fall so much that's the problem. It's that sudden stop, dude. Not cool. However, I got on the floor. I had no idea what I was doing. I was trying to do a log roll. I was trying to do whatever. It took me 40 minutes to drag my fat ass all the way to the door. And then once I got to the door, I was fucking annihilated. And I was able to reach up, grab the doorknob thing, pull it, and then I found that I was in the way, so I couldn't open the door. But it took me forever, but I was able to do it. And that's when I first realized that, hey, you can get somebody off the floor with a Hoyer lift, because that's how Mary got my useless ass off the floor, because I was fucked. But very important. If you're going to crawl with purpose. Anything you do, do it with purpose. Do it
Also,
like freaking your life depends on it.
Also, be careful with your ankles.
Oh, dude.
Don't let your ankles, the bones on your ankles, get all scuffed up when you're crawling on the ground. So I've been dealing with sores on my ankles from that for 8 years. It's the only kind of issue I have, but it was self-inflicted from crawling on the floor.
Yeah, that's what when I ended up on my face in the shower, I totally douched my ankles, man. Was crushed my ankles, my elbows. I had rug burn everywhere, man. But what's the best part about that? I didn't die. I learned an extremely valuable lesson. Sean, don't try to pick that up. You're going to fall head first into the wall. How the hell I didn't get knocked out is totally beyond me. I definitely had some type of concussion because my head hit the wall, then it hit the floor. It was like, boom, boom. I was like, but, it's Frederick Nietzsche.
I have
That which does not kill us makes us stronger.
I have a bad habit of not wearing a seatbelt.
You're a fucking retard. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that come out? Oh, I thought I was just thinking that. Sorry, boys.
No, Dara says that a lot, though. You know, Angry Quad wears his. Wow. I've been lucky enough not to fall on my face too many times throughout being paralyzed.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
once
good for
again,
you.
A seatbelt's a part of adaptive equipment.
That's what I mean.
Don't get me wrong. When I don't know if guys remember when seatbelt laws first came out, because back in like the late 70s, early 80s, every car had seatbelts. Nobody really used them. You jumped in your car, you threw it in drive, boom, you were gone. It wasn't until they started imposing penalties and things of that nature. But they found, which I find really amazing, it's incredible. They found that if you're strapped in the car and if you hit something, because you will suffer a lot of damage when you're in a vehicle, but one of the big problems that really affects you is when you're jettisoned out of the vehicle and you end up hitting a tree, you end up hitting a telephone pole, you end up hitting a something or other, but you're not like falling out like 2 feet. Man, you're flying. I lost a friend of mine, man. The fucker flew like 40 feet. And he was on a motorcycle. And a car hit him. The guy in the car went shooting out of the window. Trower went. Well, I wasn't there. But it was like, not so super Trower. And it's not good, man. Not good. Me. I don't mind being a pussy when I don't actually look like a pussy. And I don't mind, taking precautions when it's only my life on the line. And trust me, I've fallen out of this chair too many times, and it's going to happen again. But I'm going to do my best not to make it happen. And if it's just called a piece of, like, webbing, and I can click it together, I'm in. But once again, seatbelt, adaptive equipment. The chair weighs 350 pounds. If you strap yourself to it and you plunge yourself down, you ain't gonna fall. Well, you might get stuck because forever I used to have those straps across here, and if I ended up here, whew, there wasn't really any getting back up. It took me forever, ever. It's one of the first things that pissed me off, but I am doing better with this. You know?
One of my biggest goals is to be able to get myself in a wheelchair. I mean,
Doing what?
I said to get myself in my wheelchair from the
What's the
floor.
problem?
Haven't got there yet.
Why not?
See, would you put that under like a physical adaptation or mental adaptation? Because I think it would be both.
Yeah.
I wanted to get eventually to the whole mental adaptation part into habits. Like that was kind of where I wanted to go because I think that's a great way of adapting is changing the little habits or whatever. And you constantly trying to get into that chair, I'm sure you're adjusting habits and stuff. That's a form of mental adaptation, if you ask me. What do you think?
Well, you asking me or that kid?
That kid, Rob.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of hard work, and I think it's defeating sometimes. When you're on the ground and you can't get yourself back in your chair, and you're like, man, if I could just get a grip or figure out how to get myself up there. I just don't know how to do it right now.
Do you think that the biggest obstacle to overcome is a physical problem, or do you have the determination and the willpower and the drive and the fuck all this noise, I'm gonna do this attitude? Do you think you have that?
I've come to learn that about a year ago, I was scared to do any type of movements in my chair, thinking I was going to fall out of it. And it wasn't until I got up there that I started picking stuff up off the floor myself.
Okay.
But I get on the ground and it's like, how the hell can I get myself back up in that chair? I just don't have it yet.
Dude, and in some ways, like that's okay, like because
It's
that is
defeating.
defeating. Yeah, that's hard, but you're trying. And those little habits, eventually, or at first you couldn't pick anything up because you were scared. Now you're at least doing it. That's huge. That's all mental. I mean,
Of course. Attitude paves the way to everything, dude. If stupid people die, intelligent people survive. That's how we adapt. You guys keep one of these in your bag?
I don't have one right here in front of me, though.
is that a back scratcher?
No,
Telescopic
it's
magnet.
magnet.
It ain't gonna pick up shit. I mean, if you want to get crazy, you can keep a washer in your bag in case something like a paper or something falls. This way, you can push this over the push whatever it is over the washer.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, no. Like I said, I have too many battle wounds, and I'm not doing it. But no, Cord, have you figured out how to get back in your chair? Because you have decent.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I could do it in rehab. It didn't take me very long. I was super coordinated and good with my body. I mean, all they had to do is explain it to me that I needed to get my head down in between my legs so that my butt could get up as high as possible. And kind of once they gave me a few of those tips, I was just able to do it.
Do a video on it. Do a video on it. How about getting out?
I mean, I could. I don't know. we'll see. We'll see. After I get done with these challenges, I got after this last 100 days, I'm gonna axe that concept and just create videos daily, and maybe I'll create a video like that. I don't know. It's a little off brand for me, but
Well, dude, I gotta tell you, I dig watching your videos because you got an attitude problem, and you go through it, and it is actually sort of funny because every little scene change, I actually look and I go, this poor little prick had to move his camera and then figure out what he's doing to get a different perspective and everything. It's such a pain in the dick, man. It's just, but you know what? It's you got to make it entertaining. You know, one of the things I really don't like in videos, and I find myself doing this from time to time, is the talking head. You know, sort of like me sitting right like this. On the first day of my summer vacation, I went down to the drugstore to look for a job. Couldn't find a job. Hung out. On the second day of my summer vacation, I went to the drugstore to look for a job. Bang, 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 go to sleep. You know, it's stupid, man, but that's why I like your change. And I like when he does a video, he's always in a different spot doing a few things. Although, I think he's got to get some new freaking. He's got to do something other than a one-trick pony. But you know, I can't let him off the hook. But it is what it is. Oh, that's right, Rob. I'm calling your shit out, man. Oh yeah.
You call it, man. I mean, I work my ass off every day. I mean,
Not saying you don't, my man. Not saying you don't. Although I will say, I did like your video about the whole the East Coast roller thing with all that goofy cartoony shit.
Yeah.
I was like, that is actually really neat. You know.
yeah, people were talking about that on the Live to Roll yesterday too. They were wanting to know how you did it too.
Yeah.
You're the talk of the town, Rob.
I actually did a couple of them, and it wouldn't come out right, but that would come out. It works rather well.
Well, make one for the Live to Roll, boys, and put your little name on there and send it over. Build a bridge, my man. Because if we're going to build a community, those guys are now our community, and anybody that's found himself in this situation is our community. First thing we do is give. Second thing we do is concern ourselves with everything else after the first thing. That's the way the world is, man. Just the way the world is.
I like that. There's places to go and talk to other people just like myself.
Yeah. Well,
and not be judged. I think that's one of the things I hate the most is being judged by other people.
let's not ye judge, my brother. Where's Leland? He'd be the guy that go through all that whole thing. I think that's the book of Matthew. Let not ye judge, lest ye be judged, or something along those lines. It's been a while since I flipped to that book, but born and raised Irish Catholic, the Bible. The little thing they put together a couple weeks ago. I think it's over 2,000. I think it's like 2,000 years old, man. Actually, even older because the Book of Moses is like, woo. But that's a story for another day. But regardless of that.
Hey, hold on. Hold up. That actually is a good segue to the last type of adaptation that I wanted to talk about.
I was going to bring it back to that.
Which was spiritual adaptation. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I believe in a higher power. I mean, I went to church and all that stuff. I just believe in something higher than myself. That's all I know.
You can't really see this from here. St. Michael is my guy. It's a little Capulet. St. Michael is my guy. I go nowhere without him because St. Michael is the most badass of all the saints. He's the most ass-kicking archangel ever. He fucking was bitch slapping Satan. That's how much of a badass he was. That's St. Michael is the guy. I didn't have to adapt. I didn't have to adapt to religion. I'm Irish Catholic. I went to catechism. I'm not going to sit there and recite 500 different verses of the Bible. But without some type of belief and without some type of higher powers, faith structure, once again, you know what happens? You end up a mindless, retarded hedonist that's got no life, that's got no goals. Exactly. Dude, I wasn't much better. I lost a man for a while. You know what I mean? We all do. In our 20s, we just only goes, hey, wait a minute, you know? And next thing you know, you wake up in your 30s going, what just happened? But, you know, it's just, it is what it is. But no, you know, a faith in the Lord or a faith in something.
Something.
You know, something.
Yeah, I agree with you both.
You, man.
I think it's very important, and it doesn't matter what you believe in. I personally believe in the God of the Bible, and that's helped me tremendously. But I didn't believe that way for the first couple of years after my accident, and I gotta tell you, I didn't think it would be very helpful because I was a skeptic, but it was incredibly helpful when I started utilizing that and making that part of my existence. So I think it definitely plays a part in our adaptation overall, and it's important. I mean, and you don't have to believe in God. It could be like Rob, a higher power, whatever. You know, maybe like the AA guys say, it could be anything higher than yourself. You know, but I think it's incredibly important, and I think people should look into it. Definitely don't sweep it under the rug because I did that, and I don't think it was very helpful.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Swept it under the rug and left it there.
Dude, it took me a year and a half to come back. I didn't lose it a lot, but I sat there swearing at God time and time again. Although the one thing that actually made me go like this, maybe that's not a good idea. You know, because I don't think that's a good suggestion to be breaking the balls off the man. Then you know what brought me back? Jesus on the cross. Father, why have you forsaken me? And then right there, I was just like, and of course, in my mind, anytime I could do any type of parallel to some type of freaky higher being, it's almost like I ascend to that level. But then again, humility goes, sit your ass down, boy. You ain't over there. You know, I'm believe it or not, as arrogant as I am, I do have humility. I know it's a little difficult to see sometimes, but I am, yes, beat it, Ross. But there is humility, and humility also walks hand in hand. Accepting that, adapting to the fact of perhaps a higher power, adapting to the fact that maybe you are not, you know, invincible. You know, man, when I found out I wasn't Superman, it just pissed me off. But, you know, I had to adapt of my mere mortal ways, dude. It wasn't good. It wasn't until I actually accepted, you know, and, you know, I'm not doing the whole thing with, you know, what you had suggested before, AA. And if anybody has never been to an AA meeting, you got to go, dude. It's a blast. To the stories these people tell just made me go like this. How is that possible? You know, but you're not the end all be all. You know, the world doesn't stop at your feet. The world doesn't cater to you. The world doesn't care. And as soon as you wrap your head around that, and once again, I am not a big believer in accepting your injury and the situation you found yourself in, because I once again, I despise being a quadriplegic, and I fight it tooth and nail every day. If I'm going to be a quadriplegic, I'm going to be the best damn quadriplegic I can. And any improvement that I have, if I can think of anything, even the smallest little detail, I'm climbing my fat gimp ass to the top of the highest mountain on the planet, and I'm going to scream with the world's biggest bullhorn, "Don't do this!" You know, I'm going to do it. It's why I got involved with research, and that's why I'm going to continuously stay in research, because I get back a gram of strength. I want you to have a gram of strength. I want you to have a gram of strength, and you get a new car, and you get a new car. Whatever I got to do, I don't care, man. You know,
I think
but that's
research
my humility
is really important. We're not going to get anywhere if we don't figure it out, man. I honestly, I don't know how we have something on Mars, but we can't fix our spines. The spine is a crazy thing.
So Since you guys brought it up, and we're not doing a whole lot of nothing, do you mind if I drop some conspiratorial whatnots on you?
Sure.
Do you guys honestly think that they don't have that technology? Because, I mean, this is all probably something they have, if you ask me, and they're just not giving it to us.
I think they have it. I think they have it. Been through too much shit, too much stupid shit, and everything else like that. You have an entity in the body, and they have another entity over here. The two pieces don't come together. It's microsurgery. It's no fucking chance in God's green earth that this shit doesn't exist. I don't give two fucks what anybody says. I've been around too much shit. I've been dealt with too much stuff, and the education that I've gotten from this whole thing, it's like going to spinal cord injury research med school. And I'm sorry, understanding exactly how the body functions is bullshit. I think an early intervention is going to be best. However, at the same time, I truly believe that it could be taken. I think somebody's got to set up and put up the fucking balls and go like this, give it a fucking whirl. Right here, dude. You know what I mean? No problem. There is too much fucked up shit going on. And half the shit that I've seen from some of the other Strico research things that are going on, no way, no how. That technology exists. There's something going on with insurance companies, or it's something they're trying to figure out, like a biological thing where they can, crop dust a nation and have everybody go, it's fuck it. Bullshit.
Well,
Too much money.
Is just for us to get our bowel stuff and our catheter stuff and all this stuff approved through Medicare, Medicaid, whatever. I think they make more money not curing us than they do curing us, but they got it.
I mean,
Right?
I just got vocal cord injections, and they changed it from in office to surgery. So instead of paying $1,000, the insurance is pushing out 10 grand. It makes no sense.
It's part of the economy as far as the big pharma and different things like that. I mean, we just went through an extremely strange and unusual time in the world with the whole pandemic thing. I didn't buy it for a second. I don't buy it now, and I'm not going to buy it tomorrow. I don't care. The pile of shit, and it was just a whole big pile of shit. There's a reason that Dr. Fauci got freaking pardoned fucking from 10 years ago until forever. That cocksucker was just exactly that. That prick in there's just, no. Too much money, too much bullshit, and it was nothing more than a biological weapon that escaped and ended up fucking the universe. The entire planet got fucked on that, and if they didn't get fucked, then they got fucked in a different way, because then in turn the pharmaceutical companies made more money, and I will die on that hill, man. I don't care. You guys vaccinated? Huh?
I already ended up in the hospital in the vent. So
I'm an extraterrestrial. I didn't have to.
Well, you know why you ended up in the hospital on a vent? Pre-existing condition. You were right. They found out in the first 6 months that the elderly were in jeopardy, and anybody with a pre-existing was in jeopardy. And most of the people that were pre-existing were overweight and absolutely out of shape. The young in the functional fit and everything else like that never had a problem, and they tossed up. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop. I found that to be the biggest fucking butt fucker that ever hit this planet, at least in my lifetime. But, you guys can think whatever you want. Man, that whole bullshit with the vaccine, I got my balls busted by like 50 doctors. And I was like, fuck to the no.
So, thanks for entertaining that, and I appreciate your spirit. I only have one question though. Why did you let 50 doctors touch your balls? Dude.
Man.
Oh, just kidding.
Listen, you do what you do on your free time, dude. I mean, I gotta find humor where I find it. Although on that point, I actually had my first doctor with after I got injured. A real little Tuesday, dude. I wanted her to, I wanted to put my head on her freaking. I wanted to put my foot on her head and just keep her head underwater. She was such a little prick that I ended up with a small rash, and it was on my testicles. and I made an appointment. I waited for 3 days to go see her for one reason and one reason only. Who would like to guess what it was?
You had AIDS.
No, I just wanted to show her my testicles.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been in
there
some
was a bunch of
rather.
anything, and as soon as she knew exactly what the story was, like within 2 minutes, and she was just like, I was like, oh no, take a little look-see over here. I thought it was by far, at that point in time, the crowning jewel of my entire existence. I was just wonderful. I just thought it was great.
Yo, listen, I was in the hospital and something happened, and it was something came up, and I found it rather unusual that it just wouldn't go away. So unfortunately, I had like 5, 6 people around me with my dick in their hand. Sorry, excuse my language. And I was just lost for words, man.
Did you laugh?
Yeah, after, I mean, it was a little embarrassing.
Hey, when you first got injured, were you in the hospital? Did they give you an age evaluation?
No, but please don't make fun of me. I'm
not making fun
no,
of you, dude. I
listen,
just thought it
no,
was
no.
hysterical.
I actually called 911 because I thought I became more paralyzed. That is not a joke.
Why?
Because you got.
Well, I didn't understand, like, how my body was supposed to react to certain things, and not drinking water, which I couldn't at that point, was, so I was really cramped up. I couldn't move. I was like, man, I gotta call 911. And I asked the medic, I was like, can you become more paralyzed? Is that a thing? Yeah, they all just laughed at me.
Well, it's only because the shit is sort of funny there, Rob. But you know what my favorite part about funny shit is? It's when nothing happens, when nobody gets even more injured, nobody gets hurt. Even though you ever see a movie called I Am Sam? It's got Sean Penn and he plays a retarded dude. Seriously, it's
Oh yeah, you never go full retard.
dude.
Yeah.
No. That's Hawaiian Tropic, I think. But no, Sean Penn falls down the stairs and he does this fall. I almost died twice, dude. I was just like, fine. But I didn't really bust out laughing until he got up off the stairs. He was just like, oh, what's up, bitches? And I was just like, okay, that was possibly the funniest shit ever. Now, that was Robert Downey Jr. and I think it was Hawaiian Tropic.
Tropic Thunder, but yes,
Tropic Thunder, that's the one.
they make an allusion to it in it. But that was one of Sean Penn's only good movies too. And I can't believe we're talking about Sean Penn. What?
Right?
Only because it was like somebody doing something sort of funny, but it was only funny after they didn't die. Yeah.
This has been an awesome live stream. It's went all over the place. Good job, boys.
Absolutely. However, on that note, gentlemen, I got a few things I got to take care of. Speak amongst yourselves. Have your lawyer call my lawyer, and we'll figure it all out. Angry Quad, signing off. That's all, folks. Have a great Memorial Day. Don't forget why Memorial Day exists.
Right.
Ain't got nothing to do with the beginning of summer. Gentlemen, anybody in the forces, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Peace out.
Well, guys, we'll catch you in the